Ladies and gentlemen, as we know, Nairobi County has a lot of private transport sector that mostly is dominated by matatus, or let me say madris. And one company that has always dominated the transport sector in Nairobi County is none other than Super Metro. But this company lately has been faced by a lot of challenges, all of them being coming from the government, where it has been censored for being involved in road accident, hiring unqualified drivers, and also hiring unqualified touts that have been involved even in the death of some people, as it has been publicized several times. But who is really behind the problems that Super Metro is facing? Are the problems Super Metro is facing genuine? Is the sensors that have been, or the measures that have been put in place by Kenha to prevent accident by most of the times stopping Super Metro and even putting a sensor on it? Are all these things genuine? It has been confirmed to us that Super Metro is fighting a very big and huge fight, where some high individuals in the government of the day are trying to intimidate and push Super Metro out of the transport sector. Now, getting down to a certain exposure that was done today by one George T. Diano, a very resourceful blogger in the country. He says this: Super Metro refused Kasongo Junior's matatus to be put in their circle, and they suffered the consequences. The accident on Thika Road was the catch trap. Super Metro to be on the road, drivers must now have a D3 license for Scania buses like Marsh Power, Coast Bus, Easy Coach, etc. The driver must also have KRA PIN, SHA, NSSF, housing levy, and Murkomen boys tax all deducted from their salaries. But real talk, if Nyamakema and other Murima circles had spoken up when Super Metro was getting dragged through the mud, maybe North Rift Circle would have already taken over all the Kanairo roads. Instead, they chose silence, which is louder than a Subaru Freno. To the Kikuyu business community, time to stop solo missions, hold each other's hand, or you will end up seeing the city from Kenol with binoculars. Kama kawa sisi walalahoi hatuna maoni, letu jicho tu. Now this has currently confirmed that, you know, Super Metro's problems and holes that it has been facing are not genuine. The problems that have been propagated day in, day out. As we know, in Nairobi, there are a lot of accidents that happen every day. And these accidents involve different circles, different matatus. But only Super Metro has been pointed out several times. Now, when George Diano tells us that Kasongo Jr., the person that he is referring to is none other than the last born son to the president, and that is none other than George RUTO. It is public and general knowledge that the son of the president of the Republic of Kenya has a fleet of matatus currently operating within the CBD. And these matatus have faced a lot of criticism, with most of them being pointed out for violation of traffic rules, violation of safety rules in our roads. But have you ever seen these matatus being censored? Have you ever seen them being arrested, or a declaration made to stop them from doing what they have been doing? No. Now, this is what is happening. Super Metro is one of the biggest companies. Super Metro feels that if it is infiltrated by the government, or let me say the family of the president, where the matatus of the son to the president are put in their circle, then they will face the wrath of the government. Because in anything, whatever will happen is that the shares in this company or in this circle will slowly be bought out by the government, or by Ruto's family through his son, George Ruto. And so, when the board was called to, to look into the consideration of absorbing George's matatus into their circle, they decided, no, we are not going to do this. And that is where all their problems began. So it's a clear indication ya kwamba matatu za Super Metro, shida zote ambazo zinapitia ni kwa sababu kuna watu waliopo katika vyeo vingi na vyeo vilivyomo katika ngazi ya juu katika serikali iliyomo kwa sasa. And that is why Super Metro has been facing all these problems. Let me tell you how these things works. You know, what happens is, yes, they rejected the offer from George's Matatus to be absorbed within the Super Metro circle. So what happened is, after the rejection, you know, it is clear that the son to the president didn't expect that. I mean, I am the son to the head of the state. How can you turn down my proposal for my Matatus to be in your circle? Are we together? And as we know, currently, George is trying so much to infiltrate and dominate the matatu sector within Nairobi County. So he felt that was unnecessary for them to stop him. So what he did, he went ahead to have a communication with peoples linked to the traffic sector. And that is when now Super Metro was being trapped, and it was just a wait for something to happen so that now Super Metro will be dragged all through and it will face the full wrath of the law. Tuko pamoja? Yes. And that's what's up. Now, reading on what Kenyans are saying in regards to this exposure, one Mwando Kamau says Super Metro's problem are of its own making, just like Wow Beverages with Humphrey Ndegwa. They made the mistake of not realizing at some point they had grown for some little circle to a global phenomenon rooted on its initial 105 route. When that happens, you either upscale yourself or get upscaled because you are big enough a target. The likes of Equity got this right and Family Bank. Gakuyo didn't. Apart from this one, I see Kenyan Unchained saying, facts, they are watching Super Metro bleed thinking it wouldn't reach them. But now, the system is knocking on every garage and every circle door. Unity isn't optional anymore, it's survival. If Murima businesses don't move like a block, they will be spectators in a city they helped build. Kiplagat Oscar says most businesses today can be hostile takeover, and just at the bank, you just need non-performing business loan information and patience, especially when the interest rates were 20+%. Kenyan Wawera P says, finally someone has completed the puzzle. Something was just off, especially after the dead passages issue was dealt with. Maite Paronia says they did well in refusing Kasongo Junior's offer. Hao ni majambazi wanataka kuharibu a clean circle. Love, Justice and Mercy says North Rift Circle is Kikuyu owned though. Let's speak about North Rift. Also, there is speculation that they are trying also to infiltrate this market, because this is a market that watu wana travel every day. So Ruto's family and his fellow government officials are trying to infiltrate the transport sector so that they will capture it. Remember, they got into the insurance sector, they captured the insurance sector where direct line iliweza kupitia a lot of problems, which was owned by SK Mashari until SK Mashari gave it up. And currently, if you look closely, all the clientele that was owned by Direct Line was directed to Amaco Insurance Company, which is owned by President William Ruto and the family. So that is what is happening also within these circles. They're trying to force them out so that now they can take over that market. For now, that's what's up. Make sure you subscribe. See you in our next video. This is the Kenyan Daily Report. Subscribe.